Okay, hi, Pastor Ken.
Hi.
Welcome back to our discussion.
Thank you.
Yeah. So today I would love us to discuss about a topic which is very rampant in our generation, the topic of cheating in marriages, or just cheating too while dating. Yeah, so Pastor Ken, I want to hear a man's perspective on cheating. In this regard, I know of women who date men that cheat on them, but they're so convinced that these men still love them. So can a man love you and still cheat on you?
Yes, it's very possible that a man can love a wife, yes, to be specific, a wife, and still cheat on them. Reason behind that, there are so many reasons behind that a man can be able to come to the place of cheating, but they still love their wives. Number one, it's the issue of immaturity. Yes. When we talk about immaturity here, what we mean from the place, for example, talking from the perspective of a believer, a person that is not immature and they have taken a step of getting married, and then they have not yet come to the place of fully understanding the purpose of marriage and coming to the place of fully appreciating who their partners are in marriage, they would come to the place of cheating. And on the same issue, there is also the place of what are some of the habits that were there before you came into the place of marriage? Because they say that many of the habits that are not worked on during the dating times, well, you will carry them over to your marriage. And sometimes, if maybe any of the partners had some of those issues while they were dating, you will find out that even when they get to marriage, they will still also come to the place of cheating. So it's important, and that's why I think one of our conversations we talked about men, and also, okay, both of the partners come into the place of fully working on themselves and coming to the place of maturity. Maturing, not only maturing in terms of knowing scriptures and being a prayerful person, not only that kind of maturing, but also coming to the place where they are whole in their emotions, that they can have a healthy self-concept of themselves as individuals. Because it's a person that doesn't have a healthy self-concept that will not have boundaries in their lives, because that's also another thing that leads to people getting to cheat, especially men. When a man does not have boundaries, a man that is a yes type of a man, that anything they are told, they say yes. Anything you bring to them, their answer is yes. This is a man that will find themselves in a place where they can cheat and cheat so easily. Another thing that would lead a man to the place of cheating is dissatisfaction in their emotions. Is the man satisfied emotionally? And when I talk about dissatisfaction in their emotions, there is also the place of intimacy. When we are talking about intimacy, intimacy is a broad word. And many times when people talk about intimacy, they only narrow it down to physical intimacy. As much as physical intimacy to a man is so important, because men love physical intimacy. And that is one of the things that would make a man stay with a woman, when men are satisfied physically. That when I talk about physical satisfaction here, I'm talking about sex. Men love sex. That is very key for every woman to know. And when a man that is not satisfied sexually is a man that can be able to go outside to look for sex out there. But when we are also talking about intimacy, it's not only physical, it's not only sexual intimacy, but also there is a place of intellectual intimacy. There is the place of financial intimacy. There is also a place of faith intimacy. Now, all these, they also add up to making sure that this person emotionally, he has come to the place where he is satisfied. So a person that is not, if both of us are not, your intellectual capacity is not the same as my intellectual capacity. When I start some particular conversations, we are not able to have certain conversations in our marriage. So you find out that a man that is adventurous and the woman is limited maybe in their understanding or in the information that they have. There is also something that can lead a man to cheating and can lead a man to going out there as much as they love this particular person. Because a man gets excited very fast, especially when they find another person that they can be able to relate with. They are having conversation and they can be able to click in the conversations that they are having. You find out that there is an intimacy that comes with this person is intellectually, like their intellectual capacity seems to measure up with their intellectual capacity. Now, and that's why it's important for the people that are married. When they get married, they need to make up their minds to come to the place of growing together as a couple. And when I talk about growing together, this is the place where now we are willing to make sure that it's okay. We knew some stuff before we came together. And this actually should not start from the place of marriage. This should start in the phase of dating towards getting married. That when we come together, we need to start bringing together materials that will build us up. Because I think I told, there's a time we were having a conversation, and there is something that is very key for us to know. In marriage, when we come to marriage, marriage is not kept by love. Marriage is kept by knowledge. What you know is what will keep your marriage. And that's why now, as a couple, you have to make sure that you start to grow together. What are some of the beliefs that you people held? And some of those beliefs, you have to make sure that you put those beliefs away and now decide as a couple, who are the people that we will start to follow, so that we can be able to, we can start to adapt their belief system, and we can start to believe in them, and this is what will chart our path in marriage. Through that, you are growing in intimacy. But you find out, in many cases, you find out one partner is growing and the other partner is not growing. And that can form a very big gap that will cause one partner to feel that when I come home, there is something that I'll not be able to find at home. But that same thing, I can find it somewhere else. You can find it with someone that maybe, for example, I'm spiritually mature, and when I come home, my wife or my husband is not spiritually mature, so there is conversations that we cannot be able to have. But out there, you can be able to have such conversations. And while you are having with that particular person, without your knowledge, there is a connection that is developing. And as the connection develops with that particular person, eventually you might find yourself coming to a place of intimacy physically with that particular person. Maybe to mention, the last thing that would cause a husband to cheat is the moment that they come to the place of babies. Many times when a woman gives birth, their focus, their attention is narrowed down to the children, and they forget the husband. Now, as much as the husband needs to be there to support the woman also needs to understand that as much as I have a child, I also have another child in that same house who is my husband, who also needs to be taken care of. Now, I am not saying that all the work should be left to the wife. The husbands also needs to take up some responsibility and help the wives. But and as they take up the responsibility of helping, the wives also need to see and respond and realize that this man should not be left out. And I should not only focus on the children, I should also give him time. So that is very key, especially in times where children, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, that period is a period where you can find that many men will always cheat, because sometimes maybe after giving birth, for example, if a woman gave birth through CS, it means a man has to wait for almost 6 to 8 to 10 weeks until there is sex again. During pregnancy, there can be complications during pregnancy, and you find out that maybe the man will not find sex from the woman. So during that period, if the man is not understanding, if the man is immature, if the man has some issues and with himself, you might find out during that period that man can find himself cheating.
Wow. Hey, I've learned a lot. But I want to know, I think my biggest takeout is you must have a partner that you can have difficult conversations with. So, Alec, what can hinder a man from having a complex talk with their woman regarding issues like, I don't think you're giving me enough time? Because like, I'm assuming for them to go and cheat, they must have attempted to at least talk to the woman. But how come there was no what we call competition? Yeah.
Number one, men's ego. That is one of the things. A man's ego can deter him from having such a conversation. And that's why a man, the reason sometimes we preach the gospel so that people can be born again is because this particular man will come to the place where he is submitted under Jesus Christ, and their ego is being crushed every day by the Holy Spirit, and they can start to be guided by the Holy Spirit to a place where their ego is not what is controlling them, but right now they are under the control of another force, which is the force of the Holy Spirit.